And we're back to it. Are you kidding me? Wait. The timing of that attack is so awkward. This is stuck in my keyboard. Hold up. Okay. Okay, let's just sit down and do the painful grind for a while. Ah, come on. Exactly 1 and 4 on this spell. Oh. This attack is so disgusting. Well, that's a problem. Oop. Oh, it's such a precise attack. Oh, it's so easy to get so slow on this attack. Oops. Orin is such a problem. Say practice. Hey, thanks for good luck. Appreciate it. It is just more of trying to get good at the same annoying attacks. That could really use to be like 5% easier, or just lower the the rate of just garbage by 5%. Like generally, it's all very manageable, and then you just get that one bit of just garbage. It's like, oh, look, that wave, that's very, very reasonable. That's a bit more annoying. That's really reasonable wave, no complaints there. Not too bad. Then she just occasionally just... Like, look how wide open that one was. Like, that was a bit bad, don't get me wrong, but... That was kind of a gross wave. I like UNR. It's definitely not my favorite attack in the game, nor is it my favorite Oku attack. I do like it, but like, with maybe the exception being like Cat's Walk in this game, like it's the attack that kind of feels the most virally, in that sometimes it just really doesn't like you. Like, most Touhou attacks are good to have luck, in some regard, but like... This attack feels very, very volatile. And I like it still. It's a cool design for an attack. I like it. It's just... Oops. Like, that's a bad death. That wasn't her doing anything super ugly. That's just me dying badly. How clear that wave was. That was not a pleasant one. Sometimes these waves. Step one is just how much of a gap you get between the suns. Like, you'd think by the sound of the attack, by listening to, like, when the suns go off, like, it would be really consistent. Hey, thanks for good luck, Tom. Appreciate it. It would be, like, really consistent. But, like, look how big that gap between the suns there was. And sometimes it's, like, very tight. Like, it's that level of versatility that just... or volatility that just makes it so gross at times. All around, it's, on average, a fun attack, but... This is definitely my more preferred attack. Maybe just because it's a bit more of a it's a bit more traditional dodging. They have RNG speeds. I did not know that. Okay, that was 2 bad waves in a row. I gotta look further ahead. I knew there had to be something that makes them off, because, like, the suns go off at the time the sound goes off. Which is consistent, but they also don't end up being the same? Which was why I was like, okay, I don't know where the randomness comes from, but it clearly comes from something. At first I thought it was just where my position was. Like, oh, if I bait it wrong, you know, oh, if I bait it too much to the side, well, I previously baited at this angle. You know, then I screw my, you know, my angle on it, but I realized that wasn't the case. How'd you get so far to the right? I was barely hanging on the right side of the screen at all. What an attack. Yeah, this seems good. This is one of those themes that I have designated as, like, the in-game themes. And what I more mean is, like, if I remove this theme from the game, I don't particularly care for it. But, like, under the context of playing Oku, I really like it. It's certainly not one of my favorites, but it is very good. Very good mood-setting theme. Oh my gosh, why did I go right when there was 4 balls there? I didn't know how to have to make that next dodge there. Okay, until further notice, I'm no longer calling this attack harder than Needles of Yore. I used to say third hardest attack in the run, but now I think I'm dropping it to fourth. Because Needles is such a problem. What's I want to do before I go die to stage 1 a billion times? This is not the attack I wanted to do. A second after Catwalk? Interesting. Yeah, that's always a very true thing. Some people will see and understand attacks better than others. Yeah, that's also who you play as can definitely vary things up. So I guess I added the hardest in the run. I don't want someone coming in here and saying flying insect nest, actually, because I don't really have much context for that attack. I've played against it like twice in my life. But I still say Catwalk 1, UNR 2. I think I'm going to say Needles 3 and Peta 4 right now. Actually, if ever Catwalk could be just like these past 3, then, you know, maybe it's the easiest spell in the game. Bad damage. See, why can't every Catwalk just be a lucky Catwalk? combos, at least. I mean, it makes sense if you get good players and you're like, okay, you know, things are going to be broadly similar with where difficulty is. That, you know, some mild positionings might vary. Or I might find this attack harder than this one. Is that like 5 catwalks in a row or something? Okay. It's gonna catch up to me eventually. Yeah, I know there are some painful, like, other Satori spells for the other characters, but... Oh, what a late kill. Damn, that would have been a good one if that would have killed in normal time frame. See, Rainbow A players can't complain about difficulty of Double Black Death Butterfly and Flying Insect Nest. And this attack is one of the reasons. The fact that it kills, like, 5 seconds earlier. How many catwalks am I up to right now? I'll hit like 545 and then I'll go do runs. So I can go die to stage 1 about 100 times. Although, to be fair, Marissa A and Marissa B are really, like, right next to it in terms of catwalk abilities. Skipping catwalk? Yeah, I know skipping catwalk is popular. Or at least, not an uncommon thing. But I really like catwalk, and I also don't like skipping attacks. Hello, Sportix. Hope you're doing well. That was really awkward. It's also, like, it's also kind of a sad skip in my eyes, just because, like, it's so... Like, it's the most important spell of the game. Because it's the hardest spell in the game, arguably. And just... One was enough, that's fair. Oh. Sometimes you just get in the... Sometimes she gives you good luck, and sometimes you're in the mood, and sometimes you're not in the mood for this spell. Sometimes you're lucky for it, but sometimes you just see the lineups. I also want to beat the game, and I feel like skipping it, like, is, like, kind of not beating the game. One late kill again. One of these days, I'll sit down and actually look at what makes consistent damage on this attack, but I still don't know. Way too slow in that get around. Oh, that has to be a quick one. Dude, that was a late kill? I just don't understand this spell sometimes. Like, there are so many times where I feel like I'm gonna have a slow kill and then it's quick, and then vice versa. Like, that felt really good, and it was still slow. And then sometimes I'm like, this feels okay, and then boom, I get a 20.05. And I'm like, how did I do that? Like, I can point to mild, like, oops, I messed up that spot right there. Like, oh, I messed up that beginning part. Probably cost me like a tiny bit, but like... Ooh, I could have had that. Straight through 2 ways. Yeah, no surprise there. I did briefly experiment on this attack with the other characters, because I was curious how they would do. To find that, Reimu A is killing this thing in 16 seconds, no problem. And that Marissa A and Marissa B kill it very fast. And that Reimu C and Marissa C are dog shit at it. Yeah, that's one thing I saw when I tried the Reimu C was like, I feel like you could probably get some tricky shenanigans with the aiming, but I am not a Reimu C player, so I could not do that, and I was not about to spend the time to try to do that. I was like, maybe it's possible, but I'll just move on with it. What are these kills? It's like when I had that 5 in a row, like, they were good timed kills. That one was a good one, yeah. I mean, it's all about the transition from wave, or at least it's a lot about the transition from wave 1 to wave 2, or out of wave 1, I would say. But like that difference from being a 20.1 to a 20.6 is notable. I mean, I've always told myself that, like, I have like single digits, but I have a few 19.9 or 19.8 kills with this attack, and I've always been like, I really should just look at them to get a good look at them, and I always forget to. Like, I upload all the VODs on YouTube. I can always just go revisit that, and I just never do. I always forget about them on my own. Oh, I was in the first spot. Yeah, I'd have to figure out which days they happen. I practice catwalk like every day, so and for long periods of time too. Like I don't have 1,000 attempts in any other spell in this game, and I have 2,300 attempts in this game. It is a very fun attack, though. You know what? I'll go to 550, and then I'll go rip runs dying to stage 1. I did not want to have that go another 0.10 seconds. Oh, come on. I got centered for her at the end, but I was still surprised how long that was. Also just sucks with Rainbow B because your secondary shot is so volatile. And it's also so slow. Which is like, it's so difficult to catch up to her with it. Okay, let's go have fun here. You're up, Cobalt. Hope you're doing well. How many other characters have thick lasers like that? Can't really think of many. I guess you could say, what's it called? That one Junko attack kind of has thick. I did not pick up all that P. Well, that's sad. Is it a problem? Probably not. I'm only down 2 P. Thick laser in photo game? Yeah, that's true. I mean, there are some shenanigans in the photo games. I try not to think about those games because of how much Shoot the Bullet scarred me. But I believe in Shoot the Bullet, Remy had that weird attack where she had like thin lasers and then they'd like pulse to like a real thick laser at a spot. Like it kind of be like a continuous laser more or less, and then like a thick laser would like roll down that thin laser, something like that. I couldn't possibly tell you the name of that spell. But Junko in, what is it, Murderous Lilies, that's a bunch of lasers. I think some of them are kind of thick. But like, there's a bunch of small ones that like curve, and then there's like the one big one, which I guess kind of counts. I guess Master Spark and Master Spark, was it Twin Spark and Final Spark? I guess count. I didn't really think about them at first, but I guess those count as big lasers. Although I don't know if there's any other like thick segmented lasers like Kasume does. The segmented lasers are not the most common, fortunately, because it's my least favorite bullet type. Or shot type, I guess. Actually, I guess my least favorite bullet type would be, the segmented pseudo-homing lasers that Yuki and Mai have. And I think Shinki actually has some as well. Although it's an attack that you safe spot, so it doesn't matter. Box. Yeah, the Cheetos. Glad you knew what I was talking about. That spell only exists to waste your time. It's a true test of patience. Spell is literally free if you play it slow and patient. But it is also so boring. Yo, what up, Toaster? Hope you're doing well. Oh, look at this graze. Doing good? Sometimes that happens. I'm doing fine. You know, we'll see how well I'm doing in about 3 minutes' time. Probably less than that. This stage is a very important catalyst in determining how well I am doing, how good of a mood I am in. Because, like, if I die to Satori, Man, shit sucks, but, you know, it's Satori. He's not free by any means. This stage is a good gauge is how good mood it puts me in. I hate Yugi so much. I love Mount Uwu, but I hate the rest of this stage. Sometimes it's kind to you. Sometimes the laser section just doesn't force you to do anything bad, and it's just really generous. Now, ooh, yeah, my favorite Yuki spell. Don't come correcting me that it's pronounced Mount Oe. Because I will always call it Mount Uwu. Oh no, I broke one of the shackles! It's over. Oh, thank goodness. I don't want more people coming in here and actuallying me. Like I say, I'm pretty sure it's Mount Oe. This is why I hate Yugi. Or one of the many reasons. Sometimes that Yellow Non is really kind and doesn't do anything stupid. My biggest complaint with Yuki is, like, Mount Uwu feels scary. Like, it feels like, okay, this is a fast-paced attack. You actually have to be paying attention. It can kill you. You gotta be careful. So that's fine. The problem I have with the rest of Yugi is specifically those last two attacks and, like, the lasers and the mid-boss a couple points are, like, it feels like it should be free. It feels like these attacks are so simple that it should be free. And then I just die. Because sometimes they're not free. And it's incredibly tilting. Like, if I die to Satori, well, specifically the last half of Satori, I'm like, you know, sucks, but it's, you know, there's tricky spells in there. I can't be too upset. Least sketchy blue part. Oh my gosh, the red lasers didn't screw me over. Never underestimate this attack. This attack can be really cringe. Sometimes it won't be really cringe, though. This is probably a bit of a late kill. Ooh, one of the red lasers almost got out. This stage is stressful. It's a very enjoyable stage, though, like the last one. Because, like, it's a tight route, but it's pretty consistent throughout, like, the entirety of the stage. But it's not that forgiving. But it's a consistent route. Okay, time to die to one of these nuns, like I keep doing. I'll be that nun. I hate these nuns. They're the same thing as the Yugi stuff I just complained about. They feel like they should be free, and then they're not. And then I get tilted. Fucking... Oh my gosh! Don't do that to me, Satori. Oh, damn. Cheap viewers? Oh my goodness. World's fucking sketchy as Fog Labyrinth. Good grief. What up, McNut? Hope you're doing well. What the hell? I gotta get rid of these. Keep viewers. Possible ban evader. Account created 15 hours ago. That's like the second time I've done this week. Where I freaking where I cap all the spells and then I die to the fucking nuns. Except this time it was the other nun. I'm doing fine. I'm on a 1 miss pace right now, so you know that's enough to put me. One miss past stage 4 isn't great, but it's enough to put me in a good mood. For now. How the run's going? Well, it's been practice, and then this has been the only run so far. One miss past stage 4 isn't ideal, but it's also a lot better than restarting to stage 4 and 3 and 4 20 times. So, you know, sometimes you gotta take what you get. It's so subs on this guy, exactly. No, it's not. This is 1 miss right now. Or was it? It was Satori non-2. Oh, come on. That was such a sexy first wave. And that was really, really bad. Wow, I played my way out of that one. I hate this part of the stage so much. It's so stressful. Yeah, that's a good point. You can check in the bottom left corner. If it's later in a run and the second digit's a 0, then it's probably a miss. Lost Branch modders are not cooking enough? Who's... Which mod is it cooking right now? I should be up here. Cat Talk. I like Cat Talk. It's a very fun spell. It's a very high stakes, stressful spell, but it is very fun. Sometimes. Was that shit? I just didn't go enough to the left. Actually, I think I just die now. Again. Yeah. It's probably dying to that attack is you don't bait the fairies and therefore you die another time. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Yeah, I mean, I was, Thursday, Friday of Lost Branch. I was, doing a little bits of Yuka on my own. And it took me a while to get something going. I finally had to run that one. I died to Seija, but I won. I beat, Act 3 at least. I got close to being Seija, but... Alas, 200 HP is not enough. Yeah, her B-side's really awkward, in my opinion. Like, the problem I have is it's just really expensive. Like, there's that Fervor card, which is really cool, the 3-mana Fervor that you start with. But the problem is, it's like, you play that, you can't play follow-ups. Like, you want to play a card with the Fervor effect. Like, you want to play the Fervor card, then play another damage card, but you just don't have... You just can't. It's too expensive. Yeah, I feel like I feel that a bit. The way I was able to actually get a successful run going was, and one with Yuka B actually, was one of these cards I got off of Aaron, and the other one I got really early. Actually, the card I got off of Aaron was the 4-mana, 2 neutral, 2 red, deal 24 damage one time in a range, but if it's on turns divisible by 3 attack an additional time. And then I got the card that, when upgraded, is single red, innate, on every 3rd turn, gain 100 fervor, with an additional 50 every time. So my game plan was essentially... And I also got the ability that lets you arrange every turn. So the game plan was just bulk up, stall out for a while, and then turn 6 or / turn 9, I just deal like 300 damage. I also got that other card that like deals more damage and potentially hits more times depending on the number of like unique effects you currently have. And it's also the one that gets cheaper by all the fervor you have. And I was able to have like 400 damage pop-off. 400 damage plus pop-off turns. That was the one very successful Yuka I had. She's fun to play. Especially her A side, at least so far. I'm not bored of her yet. He's gained fervor rate. I played that one a couple times. It seems okay, but I haven't really... I didn't love that, mostly just because I didn't really have that many sources of grays. Yeah, there's a lot of things that require a bunch of red mana that's difficult to spend. I mean, like I said, with Yuka, one of my biggest complaints is just you have the double red card, the double red 1 neutral mana, 16 damage, gain 50 fervor. It's cool, but like you can't play a damage card after that because either the opponent's probably dead or you need to play something that gets blocked. The best card in your kit, or innate kit, is that 12 block, give vulnerable next turn. I really like that card. Especially with arranging. Like, I can do a lot of setup with that card. It feels like a really fun card. Yeah, it costs double red on upgrade instead of 1 and 1. So it still requires the 2 red to cost. Which is one of the reasons why I feel like it's a really awkward upgrade. It makes it cheaper, but not in the way that you really want it to be. Like, Yuka A feels a little clunky at times, but she mostly feels fine. Oh, have you, Damikos, have you fought the Yuka Act 1 boss at all? It's not like a top-tier stage theme, but it's such a nice stage theme. Oops! I'm not comfortable being on that side of the screen. I hate it. The lasers always are steeper than they look. Never question. A white-black one? Yeah, well, I was wondering because I'd heard that there's the Yuka Act 1 boss, so since I have the mod enabled yesterday while I was playing Koishi B, I ended up getting the Yuka boss, and I was like, time to see how that boss feels. In fact, I literally got the boss like every run because I just kept clicking random. I think one time I picked it on purpose to see it, and the other time I just random and I kept getting it. It's a cool boss in my opinion. It's weird to deal with, but it's pseudo Tenchi-like. I got Alpha Lot. Yeah, I think Game Glitcher mentioned to me that like some of her achievements or something or other got added or some shit. For Kaguya. He mentioned it to me, but I also kind of like... I read it, but I didn't really like... I didn't really go into detail about it, so I forget the specifics of what he mentioned, but I remember him mentioning something Kaguya related. I love the LNNs. I wonder if / when they're ever gonna buff Koishi's Act 1 boss fight. Because it is to the point where I used to always click random on the Act 1 boss fight, so I get that 30 extra P, but I legitimately every time am just clicking Koishi nowadays. Like if I see the Koishi buff fight, I literally just click it every time. Especially when I was playing as Yuka. I'm just like... if she appears in the options, I will 1000% pick it. It's just so much easier than all the others. She doesn't have summons, she doesn't scale fast, she has only one piercing attack, she never deals more than 30 damage. I don't like that. I do not like that. I've really got to practice this first green wave a little bit more at some point. I keep doing it I keep doing it, but it feels awkward. Like, I feel like I'm not doing it as well as I used to. Like, more stressful than it's been. Nice. When am I gonna stop second-guessing myself on Satori nuns? Not gonna play around the middle. Come on, Demon. Don't be a bitch. Fuck! I actually had that gap through, but I went down instead of left too much. Ooh, I swung way too wide. Something, something, Demon Braid. Probably the hardest review. I kind of agree. Fog Labyrinth is definitely the easiest of the Reimu B3 attacks. I'm not, as much as I hate Fog Labyrinth. I hate Fog Labyrinth, but it's definitely the easiest of the three. Yeah, Pandemonium is what it's called in Shoot the Bullet. In this game, it's Demon Parade. Or Parade of a Million Demons. I feel like... Here's my problem with Demon Parade. Especially compared to Mountain Toss. First of all, I like Mountain Toss. As chaotic as Mountain Toss is, I love that spell. But Mountain Toss is probably harder... Like, I probably have a worse long-term record with Mountain Toss. I think. But Demon Parade feels really awkward. Especially because sometimes her lanes are just nice. And they're not ugly as sin. And then sometimes they're just ugly as fuck. Like, Mountain Toss feels like it should be the harder attack. But, like, I feel like, Demon Parade I struggle with just, like, Demon Parade is way more stressful to me. Like, Mountain Toss, I'm focused on it usually. I'm usually feeling good, even if I die. But, like, Demon Parade is one of the most stressful attacks in the entire game to me. Like, I'm usually more stressed on Demon Parade than Catswalk. Maybe that's just because I have 2,000 Catswalk attempts. But... So I always talk about Demon Parade before I get to it. That spell is a rat bastard. Yeah, PETA is... That is rough. That UNR and PETA? Yeah. I don't know. To me, there's something about Demon Parade makes it harder to read, in my opinion, than UNR or PETA. That's the thing. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I think that Demon Parade is harder. Like, UNR, I still have ranked as the second hardest attack in my eyes. It's definitely my second worst cap rate at the very bare minimum. Mostly just due to its volatility. So I'm not gonna pretend I'm like great at that attack, but like I'm confident in my ability to read UNR. That I know I can read that attack. Demon Parade is not an attack I have confidence in. Yeah, PETA is... I mean, I've gotten a lot better at PETA as of the past, like, week or two. I've spent a lot of time. I'm not going to pretend I'm great, but it's definitely gotten a lot better. PETA's rough. Because PETA is so much about using your peripherals, and it's really difficult with how much the light blue bullets blend in with the suns. It's really hard. Like, you can read it, but it's very tricky. Like a Snowman. Yeah, that one's ugly. Yeah, I mean, that's why PETA, similar to UNR, PETA can always, like, high roll you, I feel, with weird garbage. It's just so much about looking ahead enough on UNR, or not UNR, on PETA, to give yourself the biggest gaps possible in the suns, so that you're the least likely of getting blue balls, which is significantly easier said than done. And then sometimes having to make really tight dodges because the blue balls are in such position that it really makes it awkward as fuck. And UNR is weird, but UNR is in the realm of, like, it's so slow, like, compared to, like, PETA, where it's like you have enough time to, like, read your entire dodge ahead of time before you're actually even dodging. The problem is sometimes you just see the dodge, you're like, why would you do this to me? Like, sometimes you just see the dodge that's ahead of you and you're like, this is terrible. Yeah, when you have to make your way through the gaps, like, sometimes it's wide, sometimes the blue bullets are pretty tame, and you got big gaps, and it can let you through. And odds are you're probably going to get a good wave or two, right? It's like 4 waves long or something, or 4 right then left, right then left, right then left. But, like, odds are there's going to be a really bad wave as well. Like, you're going to get something good, you're also going to get a bad one. Yeah, well, that's the problem. It's a really weird, difficult attack. It's one of the harder attacks in the game. But for being one of the game's hardest attacks, it's uniquely really slow compared to a lot of games' hardest attacks. It makes up for that with really awkward clumping and pathing. And saying really awkward is putting it mildly at times. Like, so much of UNR comes down to trying to look as far ahead as possible to know, like, because if you're looking too close at yourself, sometimes the gap might close off too early or something. But it's looking so far ahead, but the problem with that is sometimes you look far enough ahead and you're like, okay, well, I have to make this itty-bitty dodge. And then you get caught up in the moment where you have to make a really tight dodge, and then either A, you die because it's a tight dodge and it sucks, or B, you make it through, but then you were distracted because you had to make that tight dodge. Lasers are so stressful. But either, like, then you make that tight dodge, but you were so focused on that dodge because you had to make a really tight dodge that you weren't looking ahead enough, so then suddenly you're back in panic mode of, like, I gotta quickly adjust to what the next thing is. That's a mistake. That was also a mistake. Save up head and then interact with cap it after. That happens a lot. You know how many times I go on about an attack and I say the attack's easy and then I die to it, and then I go and say this attack's very difficult and then I live it? To be fair, and the unfortunate answer for a lot of attacks like UNR and PETA is, you know, you can get used to them if you want to play them a bunch. You want to just get a lot of practice in them. You can get really comfortable with them, or a lot more comfortable with it, but it just unfortunately takes a lot of time. I guess that's another like awkward thing about UNR compared to PETA. Is the fact that like UNR is a really like path. Like UNR just gives you a path. Okay, you're following this path. I was going way too fast there. Chance of walling it to some extent. I don't know like exactly the extent. I'd say UNR is easier at walling you, partially because of what I just said. Because that's another weird thing about PETA is, theoretically, you have the whole screen to play with. Fortunately, most of the screen is suns, but you know, PETA's a lot less linear in what you're doing. I guess that's probably a better way to put it. So that's what I always say about PETA in this regard compared to UNR. Like, UNR feels like it's worse for walling because of how like linear your pathway has to be. Well, PETA, if I get myself into a really awkward gap, like my reaction is to look and be like, immediately be like, where else could I have gone? What other read could I have made? Because you have the whole screen. It's like, I could have gone, you know, a different way around this sun or something. I could have tried to read this differently. I don't trust that. Still don't trust this. Yamame non-1 harder than PETA player. But PETA full screen, I'll go for it. I don't particularly mind links, especially if people ask about them ahead of time. But go for it. You know, I'm quite in a decent enough mood because I have avoided the stage 1 jails that I've been in the past few days. But yeah, send that PETA flare full screen wall link. I want to see that myself. Because the attack in Touhou that I know the most for, like, notorious for just disgusting walls is, what is it? I always want to say vampire poison, but that's, I think, the attack in normal. It's, vampire illusion, I think it is. Remy's third to last spell. There's an attack that I know notable for walls, that's a, walls are extremely great. Yeah. I know a lot of people call things walls. I've heard a lot of people use things of being walls. But usually I always look at it as like, okay, there was probably a way out of it at some point, but you might have trapped yourself in a position where it looked like a wall. Where an attack looks like, oh, this was an impossible wall, but you could have just gone X direction differently, and then you wouldn't have gotten walled in the first place. Oh, some people are quick to want to blame things on randomness. Oh, this is an everlasting clip? Uh-oh. Hold on, let me check this one out. Okay. Looks petaflare so far, yeah. Gross there, but that ultimately fine, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a curious wall, if I've ever seen one. Haven't had that. Yeah, I have not had... I mean, I've had some really questionable walls before, but nothing that level. Plays valuable skill. Yeah, I mean, it turns out in Touhou, like, the nature of playing really well isn't having the most godlike reaction skills, like, on the planet. But it's being able to look far enough ahead to play around things. Like, PDH is impossible on the surface because it looks awful. But, like, the only way you can really do PDH is if you're able to see things, like, far enough ahead. And, like, really make reads it. Because it's just, you can't read it fast enough in the moment. Like, there are a number of things where it's just, you realistically cannot read things in the moment. It's just really difficult. So you have to, like, look ahead. And that's, of course, a lot easier said than done. Because, you know, when I'm learning Touhou, I'm like, I zone in on looking at, like, my character and then what's around me. Like, oops. Oops. That was bad. Oh, yeah. I gotta re-enable, oops. Give this time for sure. off his fast bullets. Yeah, it's easy. It's easy to do that. It took me a long time to start feeling mildly comfortable on Cat's Walk. And that's not even, like, the fastest on the market. Although it is pretty fast.
Aye, boo-boo.
That's one thing I like, you know, speaking of dense over fast bullets. So one thing I liked about playing USD as my first game is I feel like Chirno is really, really nice for that. Because, like, all of Chirno's spells are, like, dense, slow-moving. So they're really good for, like, learning movement like that. And then you just have things go faster as time goes on. The last thing you ever want to deal with is Mystic Square Alice opener. Yeah, Mr. Square Alice Opener, the wonderful world of bullet that goes Mach 10. PC-98 is such a weird experience of, like, some of it I love and some of it I hate. Well, I guess that's probably true of most Touhou games, so maybe it's not that unique. Although PC-98 has pods, so it's all automatically good. Okay, Parsi, don't kill me this time. Oops, I gotta be in the middle. Excuse me? There's so many jelly beans. How am I gonna survive them all? Consume? I'm not Kirby. I can't just eat the enemy and their bullets. Yeah, okay, does have 3 of them there. Although, you know what else okay extra has? Fucking loot stick impact. Lunatic Impact is probably my least favorite spell that isn't from one of the photo games. I would say it's my least favorite spell, but the photo games... The Kaguya Lottery beats it, but, like... Not the Kaguya Lottery, the Satori Lottery. The Kaguya Lottery is great. I, like, first tried it. But fucking Lunatic Impact. Especially as Reimu player. Why I was about to... That spell pissed me off. I have no clue what Kinkajuchi is. I don't remember the name of the spell. But it very well might be that one, though. It's what I refer to as the Satori Lottery. Because it's in, what was it? It was Double Spoiler? And I hated it. Yeah, it's Great RNG spam with horizontal yellow lines. Yeah, I think that's the one. I want to say it looks similar to that one Kaguya spell that everyone hates. The Satori Lottery is not the attack from the photo games that took me the longest to complete, but it still pissed me off. Probably more than any other. Well, Fog Labyrinth took me about 3 hours, so... That one was certainly very high up on that list. But yeah, Lunatic Impact is my least favorite attack from the mainline games. That's the thing. I liked most of Lol K. Besides Murderous Lilies, I liked most of Lol K's attacks. Its extra stage was not that fun, though. In my opinion, at least. Impossible Spell card didn't really piss me off much, which was nice. I think I was just more used to, the more spin-off style of games at that point, and I was also just better at Touhou. Yeah, you ever play Touhou blindfolded? It's an easy way to play, right? You're not a real man unless you have 75 FPS LNN blindfolded with one hand. I guess the one bad part of Impossible Spell card was it 10-second Nightmare, is it called? People call it, something like that. That Remy has. I think with the spin-offs, though, by the time the Impossible Spell card and Violet Detector, I think there was a lot less garbage design in those games, so they were a lot less infuriating. In my opinion, at least. Battle Detector. But I mean, Battle Detector is nostalgic for me to an extent, just because I love Nightmare Diary so much. I was trying to tap right. Nightmare Diary is one of my favorite themes in all Touhou. It's one of the two biggest reasons I got into Touhou, is Nightmare Diary. I give test runs. Can't you just remove them from the pool? There's not even that many Battle Detector songs. Like, that's the thing about the spin-offs. They don't have that many songs. Right? Like, that's one of my biggest complaints about some of them, is, like, they reuse the songs a bunch, so you have to kind of, like, not get driven crazy by them. Which in Shoot the Bullet was especially difficult. The BD, that sounds like a skill diff, not gonna lie. Oh, I'm getting lazy on stage 1. I'm falling off. Yeah, I had some people coming in complaining about the repetition, or talking about how much they got annoyed by repetition in those games. I never really had an issue with them. I just had an issue with doing Superman for 2.5 hours in a row. The song didn't get old to me. It's just the attack got old to me. I spent forever. Yomu, Ron, and Suika, and also honorable mention to Moko, were like the reasons I don't love Shoot the Bullet, to put it mildly. Second Shoot the Bullet. That was my longest attack on Shoot the Bullet, I think, until Fog Labyrinth. One of the Moko attacks, I forget which one it was. I forget if it was the first or second Moko attack. Also took me about 5 years. Honorable mention to the god-awful Iku attack from Double Spoiler, but fortunately that was the only Double Spoiler attack that really walled me. The Satori Lottery gets honorable mention, but that one was only like 45 minutes. Moko attack light? It's like the 5-colored turtle attack. That's what I think. It's like some 5-colored turtle. It's about the name of the spell card. It just kind of involves you being in a line and like creeping up the up to the right or up to the left, and it was awful. I hated it because it also took me like an hour to figure out like what I'm even supposed to try to do. I will say, Shoot the Bullet. If there's one thing I'll say really good about Shoot the Bullet. Love the Aki final where it's the copy of Aya, and Wind God Girl plays, love that attack. I'm running out of steam. I'm running out of steam on the day. Was it Wind God Girl? Yeah. I missed the red dude. Had my gas earlier, but I'm blowing it. I'm running out of positivity. Also, Shoot the Bullet, I have a really mixed opinion on the 10 trials Aki attack. Because on one hand, it's a really cool attack. I really kind of like how it's designed. On the other hand, if you're playing that attack blind, it is one of the worst designed attacks I've ever seen in any video games ever. 10 King, yeah. If you are going through that attack blind, it is one of the most miserable experiences you'll ever see. What do you mean? A third of the way into the attack, it completely changes to a new version of the attack that you're gonna have to know what it was ahead of time in order to be able to dodge it. And then another third of the way into it, it changes again. Why would you do this to me, Yamame? I hate you so very much. I think that's one really annoying thing about Shoot the Bullet, is the fact that so much of it is like trial by fire, of just dying over and over until you figure out how to dodge it. But the problem is, it's like you can't practice the later versions of the levels. So if you want to get any experience on them, you have to go through the early part. And for the sake of 10 Kings, it sucks. Because you have to go through 7 attacks if you want to get any practice in the last 3. I told you, Wind God Girl. I knew it. I just knew it because I'm very partial to Wind God Girl. I love that theme. So I made extra... it really stood out to me when that theme just appeared out of nowhere in that game. Bomb, you're right. What am I doing? Bro's tilting over here. Getting rough. Well, his ultimate computer music test runs. I hate to break this to you, but have you ever thought about not messing up to them? Just get the music right, forehead? SMH my head? Question mark? Why would I am almost 2 hours. I'm tilting. I normally go for about 2 hours. My patience is starting to run low. Stage 1 saying, oh, this is nothing. I've been on stage 1 for like, what, 5-6 minutes? I'm pretty sure it was like Thursday or Friday. I was on stage 1 for 45 minutes in a row. I didn't get past stage 1 a single time. For like, it wasn't quite 45 minutes. It was a little over half an hour. Yeah, just it was, like I said, it was a little over. I think it was like 35 minutes or something. I am just... Okay, you got like 1 or 2 more attempts in me. Before I'm gonna go decline with the Devils. But I'm running out of concentration juice. This Slice Fire, what, dying in the early game over and over and over again? Nah, Slice Fire, I got good in the early game. Problem was this late game. But I also tried playing the hard difficulties, so, you know, woe is me. Well, I guess the main problem was I always like to do meme builds that never work in the late game. Payday 2? No, I have not played any of the Payday games. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time. See you same time, usual time.